This iPhone was disappointing. This is the iPhone 14. They recently launched this iPhone in yellow, but I'm going to explain to you why, from a phone fan's perspective, why this phone was disappointing. Now, from a average consumer perspective, Apple knows what they're doing. The average consumer is going to love this device. But from a smartphone fan's perspective, I'm going to make that clear. I am not the average, consumer. I do use premium phones. I am very aware of the specs. I use the premium cameras. I'm recording this on the Pro Max because it has great cameras. This one also has great cameras, but here's why it was disappointing. Apple decided to not really do much when it comes to improving the screen on this phone, giving you that same 60 hertz. Now, the 60 hertz is very smooth on Apple. It's smoother than what you're going to find on Samsung 60 hertz phones. So they actually need 120 hertz to beat out the iPhone. However, I think Apple, if they would have put ProMotion on here, it would have been quite a bit better. Now, also, the phone also didn't get the dynamic island. Now, a lot of people don't even like the dynamic island, but at the same time, I like to see the same features carry over to the base models as well. We're probably going to see it on the iPhone 15, but it was just a little bit disappointing that we still see the notch on this phone. The performance is also something that is really good on the iPhone 14, but it's disappointing that Apple decided to use the same CPU as the iPhone 13. That means that buying the iPhone 14 seems a little bit pointless from the CPU perspective because we have the same A15 Bionic. So that was kind of lame that I had to go to the Pro to get the premium offering in the CPU. Now, I do like that they have 6 gigabytes of RAM on here, but the iPhones have always performed well, so that's not really anything too disappointing at all whatsoever. And then the cameras, something very disappointing about these cameras is I was really hoping that Apple would have brought more zoom to the camera. So if we go to the camera here, it tops out literally at like 5 times zoom, like that's the max it goes. And now the front-facing camera is quite good on this iPhone, and video is quite good. It's amazing actually on the video. I have no issues with the video, social media video, all that stuff is really good. But it just feels like an iPhone from last year or the year before. This one's already from last year, but it feels like the iPhone 13. It feels like no real difference in that area. Also, the battery life is really good. This was a nice upgrade. It gets really long battery life. I do like that, but on the whole, this phone was just kind of disappointing because it just didn't really bring much from the iPhone 13. It also is not that much better, I think, than the iPhone 12, the phone that started this design. It's just it's some minor upgrades here and there that really enhance the experience a little bit. But honestly, if you've had anything all the way back to the iPhone 12, I probably would consider waiting for the iPhone 15 models. I do believe also that having USB-C would have been a benefit to this phone, but it didn't carry that. So these are some of the reasons why I found the iPhone 14 disappointing. Now, I don't think it's a bad phone. It's still a good phone. I don't hold it and be like, oh, this is horrible. I just hold it and say, for this price, Apple, can we get some more features on here? I see things like the Galaxy A54 phone that just gives me more for the money, even though this one is not as fast and all that stuff. I just want to see a little bit more of a value push, especially at the price point. These phones are $829. These are not cheap devices. And I do feel like they're giving you specs that on other phones, like Android phones, give you at like $500. So I want to see Apple take this value up a little bit on their entry model. That's basically why I thought this iPhone 14 was a little bit disappointing for sure. The 14 Plus, also a little bit disappointing for a lot of the same reasons. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here, and peace.